Welcome to the Ron Burgundy podcast.
Excuse me?
I'm Ron Burgundy,
I came onto the wrong place.
talking about the news show.
My phone is so far away.
I'm Ron Burgundy,
Help!
and we'll be talking about
Things.
me, Mr. Newsman, but you know how I'm funny.
Who's Rod Burgundy?
Anchorman. Yeah, I've never watched it either, but we all
We have a cultural awareness.
we all have the remember culturally digesting the concept of I Love Lamp.
I hate lamp. The thing is, my entire memory of I Love Lamp was just being on AOL Instant Messenger and having the option of including like tiny little audio snippets of things. That was like a thing you could send to people.
Kind of like in the ringtone genre.
Sure. As far as I'm aware, I Love Lamp was just a fun thing that you could just send to people on AOL Instant Messenger.
The movie of Anchorman.
Yes.
Featuring Will Ferrell character,
Mm-hmm.
Ron Burgundy, the
Okay.
news anchor.
Is that what
the
his name
Anchorman.
is?
Yeah, his name's Ron Burgundy. And now in 2019, there's a podcast called the Ron Burgundy Podcast with Will Ferrell as Ron Burgundy in 2019.
Are you
Which is what you're listening to. This is the Ron Burgundy Podcast.
Noah Geist as Will Ferrell as
Ron
Ron Burgundy?
I've only heard like 1,000 ads for it, so I don't really know.
Oh wait,
what
so
it
that's
is.
that's an actual real thing.
It is a real thing.
So Will
I'm
Ferrell
telling
has
you.
a podcast?
Will Ferrell has a podcast as Ron Burgundy. The bads are very ad.
Isn't that the truth?
Only listen to podcasts who don't have enough listeners to have advertising. If you're popular enough that you can make a living, fuck you.
By the way, my mic to me in my ears is very quiet. Hello?
Hi. Hey there.
Hey, that's quite a bit better, yeah.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
I'm trying to speak away, like farther away from the mic, just so I don't
Fuck.
get the.
We get so many comments on how our podcast sounds ASMR-y.
Yeah.
That's due to the fact that we don't have any noise-absorbing
Yeah,
items in our home.
that's true.
We have a fucking mirror wall, right?
Our wall is a mirror.
It
and-
amplifies every noise
It's
that we make.
literally probably the most reflective surface you can get is a mirror on your entire wall. We can start like one of our Patreon things, which would take
Less
much-
ASMR.
would be more ASMR. You get an exclusive stereo track where Summer's panned far left, I'm panned far right.
This is a political podcast
Summer's
now.
you put it on a pair of stereo speakers, you put a picture of Summer on one, and you put a picture of me on the right speaker, and now it's like you're hanging out with friends.
What friend of ours would separate us like that?
You're going on too many levels of abstraction for me.
Would you like to talk about the show Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, give me some facts.
I need water. Fire. I do have some fun facts.
Okay. Welcome to the show. Here's some facts.
Oh shit, no, we have other things to talk about first.
What?
Hello, welcome to My Podcabbages.
Welcome to My Podcabbages.
A show about Avatar: The Last Airbender. My name is Summer.
My name's Noah.
So here we are, back at last, and it feels so good. Time for those fun facts, though. I only have 2 today because
That's the minimum requirement for
that
facts.
is the minimum. You have to have at least 2. My first fact, you may be familiar with the cartoon entitled SpongeBob SquarePants.
Sounds familiar.
There is a reference to SpongeBob in this episode.
Is it when like SpongeBob comes up? Is it in
Yeah,
that part?
it's when SpongeBob appears.
Yeah, like when Aang runs into SpongeBob in the spirit world.
I was hoping you wouldn't have noticed that
Okay.
moment so I could bring it up in the
Yeah.
fun facts.
That's a whole conversation with them.
Yeah.
I think it was a Paku talking about the guy that Katara just beat up.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like, Your
baby likes sea sponge.
your baby likes sea, or no.
It's Paku says someone is baby like sea sponge.
We'll see it soon.
Yeah, we'll point it out when we get there. But apparently Paku also in German means starfish.
God.
Which is just a kind of a fun thing to think about.
Do you know what Paku Paku means?
Let's continue. My second fact was, it's barely a fact. I just was reading on the wiki, just the actual Wikipedia page of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
In the critics section, there was a critic who said that reading this now was like, this is the stupidest thing I could have found, huh? It's fine. Elements of this show seem to be influenced by Hayao Miyazaki. That's all.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got excited reading Miyazaki's name.
Hayao Miyazaki, send tweet.
Would you like to get into the synopsis?
Yes, it's called Book 1 Water, Chapter 19, The Siege of the North, Part 1.
That's what it's called?
Yes, that's what the show's called.
Oh, shit. Hey, I would like to say, though.
Yeah.
This is part 1 of the finale of this season.
Oh, yeah, it's part 1 of the finale.
So, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, Katara and some boy, they're kind of fighting.
Sangok.
Sangok?
Sangok.
Sangok.
Sangok. Katara's freezing nerd in ice because Katara's the school bully now.
You're just a school bully now. I think, was this the character in the commentary that they were saying was based on like the brother of one of the one of the artists?
There were 2 specific characters that they mentioned.
There was one in the beginning.
This character and it was Han also.
I remember they based one of these characters at the very beginning of the episode on one of the brothers of one of the artists, and they said he was beat up by a girl.
Oh.
And they had a good laugh about it.
Yeah.
They're like, they based this character on this guy because he was beat up by a girl.
Yeah.
It made me feel a couple of different emotions.
Yeah. And then Paku says, nice try. In a couple more years, you might be able to fight a sea sponge.
Oh, there it is. There it is. This is confirmed by like the actual commentary where they specifically, explicitly said, yes, that is a SpongeBob reference.
Yes.
Paku, like, invariably admits that Katara is better than anyone he's ever tried to train.
Mm-hmm.
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
He even says, like, raw talent isn't enough on its own. Because sometimes hard work is a thing. But we pan over to Aang, who's just fucking chilling in the snow, doing his goddamnedest just to sit there and do nothing as nothing as possible.
Yeah.
He's making a little tiny snow fort, not necessarily some sort of igloo.
Like when you're sitting on a lawn and you just kind of pull out the grass and like lie it on the ground and stuff.
Exactly.
He just kind of looks like he's been like pulling snow off the ground and then just like piling it around in his vicinity.
And then like Paku calls him out on all this, and Aang makes a point to be like, I'm not a master at waterbending, but I can make a fucking snowman with my body.
Then the Fire Nation retires.
The Fire Nation is like, I can't compete with this.
They do the thing where it's like that one video.
I'm getting a text. Ozai resigned.
Oh, shit.
Meanwhile, Yue and Sokka seem to be furthering their relationship.
And she's like, you don't have a palace in this other water tribe? He was like, I grew up in a block of ice, so it's not really a cultural hub, which is the same as us in Spokane.
Yue must be having a very difficult time with this.
She's betrothed. She's a princess. She's betrothed to someone else because of politics. But she likes this boy because the feelings and love.
I was going to get into this when it actually came up, but like the thing is like this is like her responsibility to her tribe, her society structure. And Sokka absolutely doesn't seem to understand like, no, but you don't like him, you like me, and it's fine. Yeah. But like the thing is she's trying to explain, no, it's like a matter of duty. It's not a matter of what I want. And it's like if she had just kind of explained it like, you don't go to war because it's what you want. It's because it's like what's expected of you. Like we just have like these like sort of chess sort of places where we're supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like it's not, it has nothing to do with what she wants.
It is kind of like a swap because Sokka's being like kind of idealist about this and Yue's being like practical. He's just like, oh, it shouldn't be this way.
But if he thought about it for like more than 3 seconds, he would realize like war shouldn't, like we shouldn't just be getting on ships and going and killing people. But like we have these expectations of us.
We live in a society.
We live in a fucking society, Sokka. But she's trying to tell him like, we can't do this. I am engaged. Technically, it's supposed to be a romantic thing. So if you look at it that way, I am cheating a little bit right now. And he's not, he doesn't get it.
And then he's like, hey, meet Appa.
Let's go hang out with Appa. And Yue's like, whomst? Who?
You see Appa eating some kelp. Sokka shows up. Appa kills Sokka.
What?
Appa tramples Sokka.
Did I miss that?
See, he's dead.
Oh, I missed that, I guess. No, a couple of fun things. First of all, at the beginning of the show, Sokka and Appa did not have a good relationship. Like, neither of them liked each other. Like, especially Sokka toward Appa, not a big fan.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of nice to see that they've become good friends.
And Appa's like tackling Sokka like a dog who sees its owner come home after a long while.
Exactly. Like he's so happy to see him. The other thing is like there's like this huge pile of kelp in front of Appa.
Yeah.
It's because they couldn't think of anything else that are herbivorous.
An herbivore.
Okay. An animal that only eats plants. They're like, what do we feed this thing?
Yeah.
A giant pile of kelp because there's no other plants here. They had to use so much of their kelp resources to feed this thing, though. Kelp them.
Stop.
So Sokka decides to bring Yue up on a little Appa trip. And he does, I would feel just bad about not mentioning his cool yip that he does. It feels important to mention.
Very cool yip.
He goes, wait, I'll do it. Ready?
The most epic yip.
Ready?
Here we go.
Yip.
He's very cool.
He's so
it's
cool.
It's extremely epic.
Suave.
It's suave and epic. The epic suave man of Sokka.
We cannot keep using the word epic so much.
Irony has been like slowly deteriorating since like 2010.
You know what?
So there's like no irony anymore.
The thing is, irony is bad, I think, for society.
They just have a fun little romance moment up there.
They do.
They're up in the clouds.
They almost kiss, but they don't because it turns out Sokka isn't an entirely shit person. But there is shit here in this scene. Falling from the sky. Yeah. The snow has turned black.
Yeah.
Weird. I wonder if it means anything.
Aang has rolled himself into a rut.
He's just having too much fun. He's destroyed the beautiful landscape of this city.
Like the landscape tells a story that he's been rolling in a circle for about like 2 hours.
This is what he's been doing for the last 100 years.
Yeah. Rolling in a circle.
I want to get back to this in a minute, but like Momo is extremely useless in this episode.
It is true.
Momo is a bad boy who's useless and shitty. It seems that there is soot mixed in with this snow that's falling.
Snoot.
Ooh. Snoot sounds like some kind of like Lorax fucking like one slur invention.
Happy Snoot Minute.
But it looks like perhaps the Fire Nation is approaching. On Zhao's ship, we see him being very excited about doing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's like super excited to do a thing.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna be the next Christopher Columbus.
And Iroh is just kind of trying to be chill about all of this. Like, yep, sounds good. They're approaching the Northern Water Tribe, though. That's the important thing. Oh, this was actually something they were talking about in the commentary also. They say they did talk about how the Fire Nation and their like conquest on the world is meant to be like kind of a metaphor for industrialization and like the way that sort of human development interaction will sort of destroy nature.
Yeah.
So that
and
was
how
like,
they were able to like go into like industrial revolution and then just kind of forced it upon all
like
all these other countries.
When I hear about it, it's like, oh, well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But when I watched it as like a 11, 12-year-old, I was like, I didn't think about that.
Like, you didn't think about, like, this was just a natural thing that actually happened.
Right. But now, especially right now, it seems very poignant. Like, you see, like, the snow turning black, and you see them crushing through all these icebergs, and it's like, they are absolutely destroying the planet in that way. Yeah.
You did say earlier that the Fire Nation is global warming.
Did I really? God damn.
Yes, you did.
I did, huh?
I think the Fire Nation is just capitalism.
All of the bad human things.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Bad humans.
Homophobia.
I would say that the Fire Nation is represented as the bad people.
The bad people.
In this show.
The Water Tribe seems to be preparing for war at this point. They've noticed that the Fire Nation is coming, what with the black snow and everything.
Snoot.
The snoot. And there's something about that word that I don't like, and I'm not sure what it is. But we see Sokka and Yue running up the stairs towards like the town the town hall.
Yeah.
Sokka is like bringing her up the stairs like by hand, and Yue's like suddenly like, okay, shit's getting serious.
Yeah.
I need to be like extremely clear at this point. So she tells him like, we can't do this.
Yeah, this is like a dramatic sort of on the stairs scene, everyone running up and stuff.
Like, this is where I was going to bring back how she's trying to explain to him, it's not that I don't like you, it's just, I have responsibilities.
Yeah, and I can't do much. I'm like 12.
Yeah, we're all just kids.
Until you turn 18, you're 12.
And then we get the scene with what is his name?
I want to say Aranuke? Naruto?
Arnuke. You're right. Close.
Arnuke.
So then we get a scene, we're in the town hall, or whatever you call it, and Arnuke is sort of like assembling everyone to tell them that they're pretty much about to begin war. He calls people forward to fight against the Fire Nation. He also mentions there are people who will die.
He's like, look to your right, look to your left. There are only 10 people who will pass this class.
Yeah, exactly. God, computer science flashbacks. But
that's the worst thing to say to any student ever.
I was one of the people who didn't make it, and that's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Especially like women are like forced out of it's fine. We see like flashes of these they're just like close-ups on faces of people who, like, spoilers, they're not gonna make it.
Oh no.
Like, it seemed like very spoiler to me. Like, they can do that. They're just gonna he explicitly says like some of these people won't make it, and then it's
as
like
it zooms in on specific characters.
Yeah, it's like and like they're like main characters, so it's a weird choice. But I'm not putting it down, but
it's
it is
just
a
an
weird
example
choice.
of subtle storytelling.
Yes, very, very, very subtle. Yes, it's so subtle.
Just some subtle symbolism.
Subtle. But then he mentions the spirit of the ocean and the moon.
His two best friends.
I mean, it's just a quick sort of, again, a little bit spoilery, to talk about some of the stuff that's going to come up. The ocean and moon spirits, whomst I love and are dear to my heart. Like, even just as a kid, I was like so into the spirit and moon oceans that I was like, oh, I'm a waterbender, even though that's like the opposite of my personality. It's not the opposite, but it certainly does not fit.
We're both converted waterbenders to airbenders.
You're an airbender?
Yes.
Oh, You heard it here, folks.
Forks.
You heard it here, forks. Spoons.
He has specific members for a danger mission.
He says, like, anyone who wants to join this mission, come forward. And, like, a few people stand up, and Sokka stands up, and he's like, me!
Oh, my God.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He yells in the middle of this meeting. It's so jarring.
Yeah.
It's so jarring and unnecessary.
He marks everyone going on this mission with, like, 3 red lines on their forehead.
I think it's like an ocean symbol or something.
Okay.
It's symbolic.
It looks like he's marking them for death in a way, but I feel like there's some tribes that do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
I don't know anything, but this seems like the kind of thing that would be based on a real thing.
Well, I mean, even in Sokka's tribe, they would put on markings and stuff when they went into war.
Yeah. Also, a little goof here. He puts the red lines on Sokka's forehead, and then you see a shot where Sokka moves back, and then he turns around, and then you don't see the marks on his forehead.
You're right.
For that shot. I mean, it's not even like they forgot because it's like the shot right after that.
Do you want me to talk about the goofs in this episode? Just very quickly while I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Wait. This is a goof break. Goof time. Goof corner.
There's a lot.
Okay.
I'm just going to breeze through them. When Yue giggles at Sokka being left by Appa, she is missing her gloves.
Oh.
When Iroh is talking with Zhao on the boat, the pin on his cloak is a gold and red emblem of the Fire Nation, but in the next episode, the pin is black and red on the same cloak. Zuko's injuries have not healed at all since the waterbending master, despite the fact that several weeks have passed since he sustained them. Yeah, it's not...
I mean, some injuries last a while.
After Arnuk tells the rest of the tribe about the arrival of the Fire Nation, Yue's betrothal necklace is not around her neck. While riding on Appa, Aang's glider is on the flying bison's neck, but in the next scene, Aang is holding it. When Aang jumps off Appa to attack the Fire Navy ships, his staff momentarily turns orange. When the camera pans up to show the full armada, a different design is on the flag atop the ship Aang stopped. Oh my God. I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing all these things when I rewatch it. When Katara goes to comfort Aang after his bottle.
Baby.
When Katara goes to comfort Aang after his battle with the Fire Navy, her braid is missing. When Sokka attacks Han, he has front bangs for one scene. He's got bangs. I was gonna finish these, and now there's a lot of spoilers, so we'll get back to these after the rest of the episode. There's a lot, though, is the thing. Again, great show. Sometimes there's goose.
Sometimes
they goose.
They're making these episodes on a tight time crunch.
I don't want to shit on the creators of the show, but they're fun to think about. Aang is having this sort of moment where he wants to do something because he wasn't there last time. And then we see him standing on this little pillar, and it pans up to the sun, and that's this shot from the opening.
Yeah, it's that classic opening shot that you get.
We found out also that...
From the commentary.
Was it Michael or was it Brian?
They have the same voice. They're the same person secretly. Have you ever seen them in the same room together?
Good point. Wait, voices? Okay. Anyway, they were on the slopes in Whistler. Mm-hmm. And they took a picture of the sun. Mm-hmm. And they used the actual picture of the sun from that ski trip.
Yeah.
In the opening shot. So that's a fun thing I'll never forget. There's just an actual photograph of the sun.
Photograph of the sun.
There's a fun fact for you.
They just kind of rotate it around to get sparkly. So they're all standing on the wall. Squinting. Fireball comes in, destroys the big logo on the ice wall.
More subtle
symbolisms from genius directors. That sounded like a sarcastic dig, but...
I mean, it's half sarcasm.
You don't need symbolism to be subtle. Some of us are dumb and just want to enjoy things.
We're children. We're babies.
Some of us are children and babies and don't like to pay attention too much.
So we see that these ships that are approaching have these enormous trebuchets on them.
Yeah, they're kind of like specks on the horizon, and they already just kind of destroyed huge chunks of the ice wall already.
I think they were actually talking about how the older Fire Nation ships have like catapults and the newer ones have trebuchets. And I'm like, they both seem pretty primitive, but that's cool. It's fine. You'd think they'd have cannons by now, but whatever.
Trebuchet is just catapult 2.
Catapult
2!
2!
Everyone's buried in the snow. Sokka's looking for Katara. She punches her way out of the snow.
Appa just eats one of the fireballs, just swallows it up whole. So Aang, he's like, I'm gonna deal with this shit, and he flies out on Appa and starts smacking some fireballs, and then he drops down onto one of the ships, the one that's closest to the city, and fucking just wrecks their shit fully. He attacks a couple of people.
A lot of these enemies are like hammer warriors.
They're all hammer boys for sure. They're all hammer bros.
They're all fighting with these heavy hammers.
And Aang uses that to his advantage and like jams one of the trebuchets, which just ends up malfunctioning and destroying the ship a little bit.
Just firing straight down into the ship.
And then he somehow manages to tie two of the trebuchets together with chains, just with a quick, swift
one
motion.
Trebuchet like pulling the other
and
into itself.
They destroy each other. And then he runs to the next one and he's like, oh, I got this. I'm going to do it with this big hammer, this Thor hammer. And oh no, here's
you see like a boss hammer guy.
Boss battle approaching.
He looks like a Soul Calibur character.
That's very true. He's got his like hammers attached to his body via chain on his like weird gauntlets.
He's like swinging hammers around with these chains.
Aang, I mean, he's bested, to be honest. He gets trapped in his chains, and then Appa shows up and grabs this boy with his fingies.
With his fingies.
He grabs him just like a human being, like a person. Like a person.
Hey, you know what would be terrifying?
What?
Being picked up and grabbed by just like a buffalo. Imagine.
No, you do not need to. You do not need to go any further. I'm already terrified.
A bison just picking you up with its hand.
No thanks. I'll take a no on that one.
Common theme of the show: animals having human-like hands.
Honestly, like we talked about in our last episode, any animal with fingies becomes more valid, but it's also scarier. So then a lot of waterbenders from the tribe show up, and they trap this ship with these huge ice projections from the water. And they were actually talking about how like it ends up being it's very reminiscent of the ship that we see in the first couple of episodes from the Southern Tribe.
Yeah, it's like a little subtle callback.
But they were also saying like this is probably how they trapped all of the ships. Like that was their technique to battling the Fire Nation.
It's a good narrative consistency.
Yeah, I like it. Actually, I love it. To be honest.
It's a good part of the world building.
Yeah, it's good. Then Aang flies off on Appa, and he's like off to go fight another ship, and he gets off of this one and looks out over the water, and he's like, There's hundreds of them out there, like
hundreds.
There's
hundreds of warships.
Way too many.
Makes me want to say,
you gotta be kidding me.
Are you kidding me?
I have my tea ready.
Tea with a fascinating why. With my why. Tea with my why.
Tea with a fascinating ingredient.
Poison. Does Minion be inflating the Fire Nation AV?
Inflating? No.
Arnook,
Tarnuk,
Tarkanark,
French Tuck
says he'll be inflating the Fire Nation army.
Infiltrating.
Wants to go Wizard of Oz style and like dress up in their little uniforms.
He's wearing what is this little boy's name?
Han.
Oh,
Or
of
Han.
course. Or Han, yeah.
You know.
Just depends on who you ask. It depends on which episode you're watching.
The guy whose character trait is mispronouncing people's names.
So he's wearing like an outdated version of the Fire Nation uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very funny to see. To Sokka, apparently also in the commentary they mentioned that this was sort of like a dig at themselves because this was like their early concept art for the Fire Nation costumes, and they realized that just the shape of like all the spikes and everything made it very difficult to like have them moving around in martial art kind of animation.
I can't imagine like having huge shoulder spikes and like trying to do like animate that the 3D-ness of those two.
Yeah, so that's why Sokka like even says like the new design is like more streamlined.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. Their first objective is to figure out the identity of the Fire Navy's commanding officer, and it's set up to be like a very dramatic sort of like heist to get this information. And then Sokka's just like, oh, Zhao?
Zhao?
You guys don't know who Zhao is?
He's been like the main guy like this whole season.
Haven't you been listening to My Podcabbages?
Mm-hmm.
So they suddenly realize this is going to be actually a lot quicker if we just let Sokka tell us everything he knows about the enemy.
Han's a little salty about this. Sokka and Han have a little
kerfuffle.
A kerfuffle dynamic.
Yeah, you can tell he's like a fancy boy. Like there's something rich boy about him. And then we find out he's I don't know who, like what his actual like place in society is.
He's like princey. No, he's not.
He does look and act like a prince, but I don't know what he's actually contributing to society. Yeah. But he's the guy that is supposed to be marrying Yue.
More fireballs going toward the city. What is his name?
Paku?
Paku has a very clever solution, and he points at the fireballs, and he says, "Stop those fireballs."
And then they all just kind of stand there for a second, like, yeah, you're right. Damn, dude, you're right. Stop them.
Should have thought of that earlier. They are stopping them with little ice spikes and just kind of fizzing them out.
Right. I was kind of thinking, like, wouldn't the fireballs, like, break the little ice spikes? But maybe if they're good enough at waterbending, they're growing the ice spikes around the balls or something.
Mm-hmm. Zhao is approaching closer, but Iroh says, you better stop now because the moon's coming up and it's practically a full moon.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, like, why did they time this in a way where they would be approaching the city directly as the moon was rising?
Maybe it took like all day.
I don't know, but they should have thought ahead. Come on.
Yeah, they could have waited like 2 weeks or something.
But, I mean, that's what we know about Zhao is he's extremely impatient. That's like his big problem.
And
he doesn't think ahead.
Maybe he wanted to be like, They came here even during a full moon. He stopped them or something.
Well, I mean, clearly not because they're taking a break for the night.
Yeah, it's true. He's like kind of a half measure. Like just put in the history books that like I came during the full moon, not at night.
Sure, everyone knows that.
You know, we do find out that there is propaganda. So
yeah, then Aang shows back up and he's like, I'm not sure I can do this. There's a lot of ships out there. He looks really upset about it, and I'm just kind of thinking like, I'm aware he spent a lot of time and energy out there doing that, and it seems kind of hopeless. But like, just based on like the amount of damage, for lack of a better word, that he brought to their like the good side. Like the amount of ships he was able to sort of decommission in like a couple of hours is like, you know, just get a good night of sleep and just keep doing that. I think you're good. True. Like you're good. I mean, the thing is like I think he's exhausted. They were trying to talk about that in the commentary a little bit. Just like he's like the most powerful bender that we've really seen, like modern bender that we've really seen in the show so far. And like even him, he couldn't do it all on his own. I'm guessing he like assumed because he hasn't really faced anything that he couldn't defeat yet. So he was like, oh, I'll just go take care of this. And he got out there and he was like, oof, it's
hard when it's a lot is the thing.
Yeah. They talked about the lighting in this next scene with Zuko and Zhao. and how they wanted to have like a like sort of warm lighting on the inside of the cabin, and then like coming in from the window, they wanted like the cool lighting from the moon. And it does like, it's very noticeably beautiful coloring for this scene. It does look very complicated.
Like they were talking pretty much the whole commentary about like how good the color correction was. And it was like, oh, I never really noticed how just all of these lights and shadings that they put in the show.
Like the color correction thing is also like, for some reason people they have like a weird disconnect in their brain from like animation and like real life. So like this is where you get people being like, Aang's eyes were blue in that scene.
Yeah.
Is he really a waterbender? Like, no, it's like, no. Things
Just
change
lighting
with the
happens.
colors, the lighting, yeah.
So Zuko and Iroh.
Have a little heart to heart.
Yeah. He's going on one of those little tiny rowboats. It's going to escape the ship sneakily.
He's just going on like an information mission, I guess, just to, because he doesn't really have a plan. He doesn't know how he would get in.
So he's just playing it by ear. Iroh just tells Zuko, he's like, you're like my own son.
Oh, he does it so much more poetically than that. Come on. Well, give it another go.
Iroh's trying to give Zuko advice, and Zuko's like, I don't care, Mom. And Iroh's like, I just act like this because ever since I lost my own son,
I lost my own son,
I've always thought of you as. And then Zuko's like, you don't have to say it. It's fine. And Iroh's like, I love you, son-ish person. Sunny boy.
I think like watching it this time around, I was like, oh, I don't know why I never really like put much weight on that sentiment. Like Zuko really did grow up with Iroh being pretty much his only quote unquote dad.
He's less of an Uncle Iroh and more of a Daddy Iroh. Daddy Iroh legs.
But yeah, as Zuko is like descending into the water, Iroh's yelling little helpful tips and tricks, life hacks at him.
Yeah.
Keep your hood up.
If you take a paper clip and then you hang it up against the wall, you can use it as a key holder.
If you take off the top of the pop cans, you can put them onto your hangers in your closet, and then you can hang another hanger onto it, and then you can double your space usage. That one doesn't actually work. Don't waste your time. We're back in the room with Han and Sokka, and Han is saying some pretty troubling things.
He's just saying, I like Yue, but
for her perks.
I like Yue, but only for personal gain. Han's like,
hey, what does the word rube mean?
I don't know. I think it's like the slang term for like a Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
Can I see that Rube?
So he's calling Sokka complicated.
He's calling him complicated.
Difficult to figure out.
Yeah, complicated in like a not fun way.
That's really ironic because he says he's a simple Rube. So useless?
He's like a 2x2 Rubik's Cube.
Those ones are way harder.
Are they?
Sokka's a 2x2 Rubik's Cube.
From the southern tribe. They get in a rough and tumble tussle. They're all fighting. They're all getting up in each other's grills and punching and wrestling each other. And
a couple of genuine wrestle boys.
And Architarch, Aardvark, Arthur splits him up, and he just says, Sokka, you're off the mission.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.
He doesn't even like ask what happened or who started it or what it was about.
Or like scold them or anything. He was like, hey guys, hey Sokka, you're off the mission.
Like, he just had a bug in his hair. Yeah. I was just trying to get the bug. This was interesting though, because I did take note, like it was immediately like jarring to me that Sokka didn't say anything. You know what I mean? But I think that's almost, you could almost consider that character development, because there are very few people. I feel like even Aang would have tried to like defend himself in some way.
Yeah.
So that was a very unusual kind of response, was to just immediately let it go and like accept his new orders or whatever.
Yes.
And it actually pays off here in a minute, because we'll see. Like if he had gotten really disrespectful and argued and fought back, I mean, there is something to be said for defending yourself. But in this situation, I think he was like, it's not really worth it. I don't want to cause more trouble. In the meantime, Zuko's just having a leisurely kayak
Yeah.
out in the cold, icy waters. It looks like he's just trying to kind of find a way into the city. Then he sees some seals and they're just kind of jumping into this little hole off to the side. And it just looks like he just gets genuinely distracted.
Yeah.
Like, oh. And he
Ooh,
just like
some
walks over and
seals.
he's like, where are they going? He just wants to see what they're up to.
Which still, it could still be canon that he's just like, I've always wondered where seals go when they go in those holes.
And he risks his life for the personal research.
We cut to Yue talking to Aang and Katara
about the moon. There's a shot of the moon here. Would you say that's a full moon or a crescent moon?
It's pretty full.
It looks like both. Does this planet have two suns?
I mean, you could say that about literally like every piece of media. And it's like, oh, the other sun was just out of the shot. Like the episode where they go to the planetarium, there was actually a second sun in the planetarium.
We just didn't see it.
It just never showed it, you know?
But Yue is giving some exposition on the moon and the moon spirit and how waterbenders learned waterbending from the moon, all that stuff. So like they're intrinsically tied to her. She also talks about the ocean, the two spirits of the water people.
So
it's their yin and their yang.
So their power comes from the moon and their life comes from the water,
right?
From the ocean. And
it's what balances them to make such well-rounded waterbenders.
Yeah. Aang just remembers for like the first time today. Oh shit, I'm the Avatar. I can talk to spirits. Why didn't I do that?
Oh yeah. Aang's not really sure quite how to do that though. Like his understanding at this point is like, I just need to meditate and then at some point something will happen.
Yeah, maybe I can like launch a big spirit attack or something. So they don't really know how they're going to meet these spirits. And Yue is just like, oh shit, I actually just keep them in the backyard.
So she brings them to this place, this amazing place that is like a staple in every good fantasy world where there's a little tiny door. This one's a circle, which is even better.
Like a door that's like 4 feet high.
You gotta like crouch to get in and then friend of the show, Stephanie, could just probably walk straight in.
Yeah. She wouldn't even be able to like hit the ceiling.
Yeah. She'd be like, this hole was made for me. No, but they walk into this beautiful little oasis with like this clear pool. And then there's like a little garden with all this green grass. And like there's like a little bamboo forest and like a spirit gate and a pond within the pond and this giant waterfall behind. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. There's even like a little bridge to enter like the most spiritual area. And it's also warm. So that's how you know shit's getting magical.
They just take their coats off.
This little tiny island looks exactly like an avocado. I have to point it out.
Like a sliced open avocado.
Yeah, it has the pit and everything. So Aang just kind of sits down right next to the little tiny pond on the island. He sees that there are a couple of fish in there. They look very beautiful. Just some sort of, I don't know, decorative fish.
Yes.
And then we see Zuko, because he had died. I don't know if we mentioned he actually dove in after these turtle seals and into this hole in the ice, dove down, and then he was like, they have to come up for air somewhere. Like just trusting that he could hold his breath.
Yeah, kind of assuming that he had the same lung capacity as a turtle seal.
As an aquatic animal.
Yeah. It's like me swimming after a penguin or something. Well, they have to come up for air somewhere.
Well, they're alive, right?
You know, we're both mammals.
But I do have to say, like the storytelling for Zuko in this part, it has to be like the first time I've ever seen a show do like almost a realistic interpretation of how long you could actually hold your breath underwater. When I was a kid, I used to always watch scenes like that and I would hold my breath. Like,
of course, yeah.
Yeah, just to see. Well, that's bullshit.
It's kind of like you have to hold your breath at the same time and you have to like also count whenever there's like a countdown timer in a movie. You have to like count down along with it.
And this show actually does a really good job of making a realistic amount of time for him. And not only that, but he's like really cold when he comes up and he like he does his little, there's like a kung fu technique called fire breath or something like that they were mentioning in this scene, that they had fun making like this literal sort of interpretation where obviously you just have fire breath and it helps you like center yourself or whatever, but then it also, you can use it as warmth, which he's doing. He warms himself up. And then he just, because he emerges in this like little turtle seal cave, and all of the seals are honking like really loudly because they're just horny or something. I don't know. They're talking. They're friends. It's fine. But then it makes Zuko really mad. He starts yelling at them, "Be quiet!" And then they like all stop immediately. They just stop and they just look at him.
It is a genuinely funny moment.
Yeah, it's really good. And then they like, as he's like leaving, they just start honking at him.
Wait, I gotta see the specific verb that the subtitles are using. Lowing.
Lowing?
Lowing.
Lowing. Low.
Low. Zuko then like swims up a waterfall, just like, Minecraft style.
Yeah, like in Minecraft, you know.
And it's super easy.
I can see how, like, if you haven't actually seen this scene, that would sound... Yeah. He does, like, he climbs, there's like a hole. It looks very claustrophobic. There's like a waterfall coming down through a hole into the cave, and he just climbs up the hole.
Yeah. Zuko's sort of
holding his breath.
His sort of C plot in this episode is very claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch, but it's beautiful. I like the scenery. So then Arnuk goes and finds Sokka, who, by all accounts, is assuming he's just doing nothing now.
Yeah,
because he's off the mission, but he's just sitting there sharpening his boomerang. It's like, I would have just probably gone back.
Yeah.
But he's just chilling, I guess. But we see like the fact that he's still there and he's not throwing a hissy fit or anything. Arnuk comes over and he's like, I actually have a different mission for you. I want you to go guard my daughter. And Sokka's like, hell yeah. As Zuko's like finishing his little cave story, he does get trapped underwater at some point under the ice, and he's like about to suffocate. It's bad. I don't like to see it.
He's about to die.
Luckily, he's a firebender, so he uses his hot hands to like come back up and like emerge. And Noah and I were both saying it would have been... We were kind of hoping. I mean, you know, we've seen it. We know how it happens. But like, we thought it would be really funny if he had just come up like in the pond where Aang's just sitting there trying to relax.
And he's like exhausted and freezing and like hyperventilating.
He's got scratches all over his
and
face.
He's like, I have you, Avatar.
Aang's just like, where the fuck? How did you get in here? Like, I'm just trying to get 2 seconds of peace. Like, seriously?
I'm here because my dad told me to.
Yeah, but he actually comes up in a little tunnel inside the city. We cut back to Aang, who's still trying to concentrate, and it's like zooming in on him as like we see sort of out of focus in the background Yue and Katara just like talking about him, like, what's he doing? What does he need to do? Like, how can we help him?
Yeah.
And it's just really funny. And like Aang's like, you can shut the fuck up for starters. Because he needs like complete silence to be able to concentrate. So they do that. And then when he looks back down, because he was trying to meditate with his eyes closed like an idiot.
Oh, what? I never meditated before.
I was just making a joke.
Oh, okay.
You can meditate however you want. But he looks down and he sees the 2 fish in the little koi pond. There's a black one with a white spot and a white one with a black spot. And they're sort of circling each other. And it's like kind of mesmerizing. And he's like watching them. And this like kind of helps him zone out a little bit, and then he sees as they get like kind of close to each other, it's like, oh, it's a little yin yang. He instantly goes into the Avatar state just because the aesthetic was so appealing to him.
He gets such
so satisfied.
Like he gets in such like a galaxy brain mode. He goes into that.
That is literally what's happening. I really need like one of those little galaxy brain charts now, but with like Aang in different moments of spirituality.
I mean, there is like the I think in the second season, you get like this cosmic space
Right.
Aang, which like really looks like a galaxy
I'm
brain
sure
dude.
somebody's done this.
Yeah.
Somebody. We'll try to find that and put that up on the
Yeah.
Twitter. So Yue notices that he's glowing, and she's like, "Is he okay?" And Katara's like, "He's okay, but he's basically dead. Like as long as we don't move him, that's his way back to his physical body." And then they may as well have had Zuko come out of the pond.
Yeah.
Because there he is. He's just on the bridge. How did he get there so quietly?
I mean,
that was like a pretty long walk through that little.
He probably just went through a whole like stealth mission sort of kind of sequence.
The other thing is like they've been in the city for like a few weeks now.
I think so, yeah.
And they've never seen this garden before.
I mean, maybe
you could even call it like a little secret garden. It's got that tiny little door.
It's probably in like the restricted areas of like a palace or something.
How would Zuko have had any idea where to look for this?
He might know things.
He's just got a really good sense of smell, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we get the first like real battle between Zuko and Katara. It's really good.
Yeah.
Because Katara, as we discussed, is very good at waterbending now. She spent all of this time with Paku training. It's the first time she's even trained with anyone, and she was already good before they met. So she's like probably the best non-master waterbender at this point, like in the world even.
Yeah.
Like we haven't, as far as I can remember, there's like nobody who's as good as her.
Yeah.
She could probably even beat Paku now. I would like to see a rematch. And yeah, Zuko didn't expect this, so he kind of got taken off guard pretty badly. And then he even suggests like, "Oh, seems like you found a master." But yeah, she manages to trap him pretty much, like really effectively. Zuko tries to grab Aang at one point, but does not succeed.
Then the sun comes up.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to be really tired.
That's the other thing. Like the moon was still out, so Katara had that advantage over Zuko. And then the sun comes up, and Zuko makes the very dramatic line of, "You rise with the moon, I rise with the sun."
It sounds very cool to him.
And to me. And then he really easily knocks Katara down and grabs Aang.
You see the sun right behind him as he says this, which is a bit of like subtle symbolism.
Yeah, how did it get that high so fast?
That's true. Maybe I think maybe I would imagine this planet's got to be on like a weird trajectory where like the sun like exponentially sort of like shoots up like woo. This is a very high up sun already.
What's that guy's name? David Galbert Ilbert?
David Galbert Ilbert.
David Gabbard Dilbert?
The polygon guy?
Yeah.
With the hair and the glasses?
Yeah. I would love to see
Unraveled.
A video.
I think that's what it's
by him about like the celestial circumstances of this universe.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be very interesting to have unraveled. So the Fire Nation is like, hell yeah, sun time. And then they like crash into the city walls with their little ships. And they just kind of start invading. Then we see Katara wake up and she sees Aang is gone. And Momo runs over and he looks very sad that Aang is gone.
Yeah.
Why? Where was he when Aang was getting taken?
That's true.
Why wasn't he helping?
Was Aang with them the whole time?
I mean, Momo's been here the whole time, and he was just kind of chilling watching Zuko walk off with Aang.
Oh, no. I feel like, Was Momo here the whole time?
Yes, because I took note of that.
Oh, yeah. Momo was like there when they... Yeah, so Momo was there the whole time.
Son of a bitch.
And God damn it, Momo.
He could have done something.
Yeah, he could have just at least like sort of followed Aang.
Yeah, true. Ugh, that's okay. Maybe he was sleeping. He was distracted.
He could have been like taking a deep nap in the little bamboo forest in the back.
But the other thing is like if he is actually
Gyatso,
and this is like a very spiritual place, maybe like Gyatso's spirit left for a minute to like go say hi to his friends.
That's true.
And he just turned into a regular ass lemur for like 10 minutes.
Like they open up like the bamboo forest and you see like Momo in the Avatar state too. Like glowing eye.
I mean, we have to assume that's what happened. Otherwise, he would have done something.
Yeah. It's, you know what Sherlock Holmes said, if the least thing that happens that
Is
you think
likely,
is the likely thing,
then that's the one
then
that
that's the
is.
one it's got to be. You got the whole gang.
Guitarist,
Yeah. Very upset. You got the whole gang here, except
I
for
need that, like, just for a reaction image.
Okay. You got the whole gang here with Sokka and Katara and Appa and Momo and Yue now. No Aang, though.
They're wondering where Aang could have possibly gone, and then we pan up, and we have to assume that Zuko.
I feel like we also have to say that this garden is like within like very, very high.
Yeah, this
sort of
huge
ice walls.
cliff. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Ice Age 2 style.
It's kind of like deep, like at the bottom of a bunch of ice cliffs and stuff.
Oh, interesting. Now I'm thinking like if it's like the center of spiritual energy and it's like warm, I wonder if it like
Oh, that's
melted down
true.
into the.
Like just to the ground.
That's why it's like all melting on
Yeah.
the sides too. Ooh,
Because, like-
I like that design.
I never really thought about that.
That's
'Cause,
really
like,
cool.
I think it's like Antarctica has like ground underneath it, but it's just, you know, frozen over.
Right. And then we do have to assume that Zuko swam up another waterfall.
Yeah.
Because as far as I can tell, he just climbed this 1,000-foot tall wall of ice.
You see a little path.
It does. It only goes up halfway,
Goes up halfway.
and then
Maybe it goes up more that we don't see, but most likely he just swam
He's-
up another waterfall. He's
yeah,
really good at that.
we've already established that he's a gamer with Aang too, which is wild.
Yeah.
Maybe he's lighter since he's in the Avatar state.
He's like helium, where
His whole soul is gone. But yeah, they're like walking. They're walking away in this winter wasteland.
looks like ice hell.
And that's the episode.
That's it.
It's a really good episode.
It is a good one.
I really like it.
Me too.
Especially because something I was just complaining about is how like I feel like this city isn't like interesting enough
Yeah.
or something. I hate
Mhm.
saying that, but like I feel like there's a lot more to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, after this episode.
You see a little bit of the insides and stuff.
Yeah, we got like the pipes, we got the seals, we got the ice caves, the little spirit oasis.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah, I like it. What do we do next?
I think this is the 20 questions part.
Do you have a thing for 20 questions?
Okay, I have one. My thing is sea sponge.
Is it organic?
Yes.
Ooh, is it definitely organic?
Yes.
Is Stephanie going to get mad that you said it's organic?
She might be. I could be wrong. And then I'm like, what is organic then? I would be like that.
Does organic really even have a definition is my thing.
There is no definition.
Yeah.
If
so
you look it up in the
everything-
dictionary, it's just blank.
Is it alive?
Yes.
Did it used to be alive and now is not? Is it dead is what I'm asking.
It can be neither. It can be either.
It can be neither.
It's-
It is neither alive
Yeah.
nor dead.
It is. It can be either alive or dead. It's not that specific. I really gave away a lot.
You did.
Yeah.
Is this something you would set up at the front of your home to like greet people as they come in?
It wouldn't be typical, but I would see how it would be kind of a fun thing, you know?
Okay. Would it block the entrance to your home?
You could set it up in a way that it could block the entrance, but typically you could get around this obstacle.
Would it make your home smell nice?
This, I am not sure of. I would say probably not. I don't know how it smells at all.
Is this something that's specific to the Avatar universe?
No.
Would it make a nice garnish to a meal?
This, I don't know either.
Let's assume we're not eating the garnish.
Um,
I'm putting this on my plate to make this food look more appetizing.
Probably not. It would be a weird garnish, but I would, like, if I went to like a sort of fancy esoteric restaurant and this was used as a garnish, I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, sure.
Would it fit in our freezer?
Yeah.
Would it fit in a shoe?
Yes.
Does it take various shapes?
Yes.
Is it in this episode?
No.
It's not in the episode at all? Like, not even conceptually?
You gotta ask yes or no questions.
Okay. Does it have eyes?
No.
Is it plant-based?
I believe so.
If you went to a concert and you saw someone in the band holding one of these, would you think it was weird?
Yes, unless it was
Unless.
appropriate for the sort of theme that the band is going for. But I would not say it is appropriate for a regular musical setting.
Would you see Jimmy Buffett on the beach with one of these?
Yes, actually.
Ooh, that was a really specific shot in the dark. I'm surprised it landed
Yeah.
anywhere at all. Can straight edge people enjoy this?
Yes. Also, clarification, they're not plant-based.
Okay. And you confirmed it's not in the episode at all.
It's not in the episode.
Okay, interesting. Is it in the show?
It's not in the show.
Gotta stop doing this stuff. Was it mentioned in the commentary track of the episode?
Yes.
Did we talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. Is it something that could show up in the show?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like a computer.
Yeah, it's not.
Would it be weird for me to bring up, like start a conversation about this outside of the context of Avatar?
Not really.
If I put this in a time capsule
Mhm.
and put it in a hole in the ground and someone found it 1,000 years from now, would they think it was wild?
1,000 years from now.
Yeah. So like assuming even if our whole civilization collapsed.
Okay. And they found this on a time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
Wild in what way?
I mean, would they take it out of the time capsule and be like, whoa,
No.
okay. Is it man-made?
No.
Is it man-made at all? Like, does it have any man-made qualities to it?
No.
Interesting. So if I went into a forest,
Yeah.
could I just find one of these?
No.
Interesting.
No. It would be hard to find one.
Okay. Wait, it's not even mentioned in the episode.
It is mentioned.
It's mentioned. I asked if it was in the episode in any way, even conceptually.
Yes, then. It is in the episode conceptually.
Okay, then it's the sea sponge.
Yes. You got it. Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
Thanks.
You thought that was a plant?
I wasn't sure.
No, it's an animal. That's like saying a shark could be a plant.
I mean, they don't
It's okay. I forgive you.
They don't have a nervous system. They don't have cells in each layer bound together. They're like sort of jellyfishy.
My thing is the outdated Fire Navy uniform.
What's your thing?
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
You can't trick me.
Oh.
You almost got me.
What is it? Yes or no?
Yes. Wait, no.
Here's my question. Is it?
Yes. Wait, no.
It isn't?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Ask again later.
It may be.
Answer's unclear. Try again later.
Is it in the show?
Yes.
Is it solidly in the show?
Yes.
Does Sokka like it?
No.
Will Sokka ever like it?
No.
Do you see any of the characters giving this like a little kiss?
No.
Just a little, like, hey, little buddy.
No.
Tucking them into bed and then putting a little kiss on the forehead.
No.
Would it make sense for this character to be tucked into bed? Or for this, whatever this is, to be tucked into bed?
It would be really funny to see.
Is it a person?
No.
Does it have an owner?
Probably.
Like, what if someone took this and they made like a tiny little bed or a big bed, just an adequately sized bed for this, and they like put it right next to their bed, like how some people do with their cats, and then they like tuck it in every night?
I can see one character. No. No.
If you threw this in the water, would it float?
I have no idea. I would assume no.
Does it also exist in real life?
No.
If it did exist in real life, would it be like top trending on Twitter or something? Like
Yeah.
this thing, someone actually made this thing.
Yeah, it sure would.
Is it big?
You know I hate this question.
Okay. Would we be able to make it?
Yes.
Can you probably find like a shitty one on Etsy?
Yes. Well, maybe.
I mean, would it surprise you if you found like a really good one on Etsy?
Yeah.
Do you think it's just too specific to be on Etsy? Not that it's
Yes.
impossible to make?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Is it adorned by a character?
Do you mean like what do you mean by that?
I would say you can wear clothes, but adorned
Right.
in my brain definition things
Uh-huh.
is like just things that you have
Yes. The answer is
on
yes.
your body.
The answer is yes.
Is it sharp?
Yes.
Is it flammable?
Probably not. I would go as far as to say it's like 100% chance it's not flammable.
If you splashed water on it, would it be soggy?
No.
Is it water repellent?
I don't know.
Is it something that you might have a compulsion to bite into?
No.
Okay.
Why would you ask that based on the other questions you've asked?
If it doesn't get soggy, I'm assuming it doesn't flop around either. Is that correct?
Maybe.
Is it part of clothes? Is it clothes?
Yes.
Is it a weapon?
Debatable.
Is it part of the Water Tribe?
No.
Is it part of the Fire Nation?
Yes.
Is it a shoulder spike?
No.
Is it part of the Fire Nation uniform? Is it the Fire Nation uniform?
It's more specific.
Is
than
it
that.
on the Fire Nation uniform?
Less specific?
Is it the Fire Nation uniform?
Which one?
Is it the Fire Nation uniforms?
Oh my god.
Is it? Hang on. Is there more than one?
Probably, yeah.
Are we just talking about a specific one?
These are hard questions to answer, hard yes or hard no.
Is it red?
Again, neither yes nor no.
Is it meant to be worn?
Yes. Well.
Is it intended to be worn? It's man-made, right?
Yes.
When this was first made, was it made for the intent of a person wearing it?
Yes.
Is it an old Fire Nation uniform?
That's close enough. I'll give it to
Oh
you.
my god, what was it?
Just the outdated Fire Navy
The outdated
uniform.
Fire Navy uniform. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
But you just kept saying the Fire Nation uniform. The Fire Nation uniform. Like, which one? And it's like, is it meant to be worn? Well, it was. Not anymore.
I have some questions.
Ooh, from friends?
From strangers.
Oh.
On forums.avatarspirit.net.
Okay.
This one comes from Drew Davenport.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, darn.
Avatar Drew. No, this comes from Avatar Roku. Avatar_Roku. Who asks, hey, I've seen all of first series, but not these last 2 eps. How could I find them?
Good question. What year was that asked?
April 1st, 2006 at 6:04 p.m.
Oh, Turbo Nick, my dude.
Oh, cool.
Turbo Nick.
Turbo Nick.
There you go. Also, pirating was way easier back then, so
yes.
just Google it.
Just like real life.
Yeah.
This question comes from Yin and Yang. This isn't a band member, but I want to say that in their forum signature it says, "I'm back. Man, I was banned for 6 months."
Oh my god.
Yin and Yang asks or says, the fighting scene with Zuko and Katara was awesome. I got really bored on the same old fights with Aang versus Zuko and the other fights. But when
and just all the fights?
Yeah.
So all the fights?
with Aang versus Zuko and the other fights. But when I saw them figth, I became happy. That was my favorite part. Who else thinks it's cool?
I became happy. What a pure way to express enjoyment of something.
Yeah.
It was happy making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that was a pretty good scene.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty cool.
It was pretty good.
Good.
He's German.
Cool,
now.
good.
He was always
Good.
German.
It was pretty cool.
Oh, I think you mean gruel.
It was pretty gruel. Where does the R come from? Rad?
Great.
Oh, great.
Haven't you seen Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I've seen Mean Girls.
Sounded like a fake answer, but okay. Yeah, no, we liked that scene. It seems like a little weird for it to make you happy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
After I just said that was a good phrase.
Yeah.
But like maybe like engaged.
Yeah.
would have been a better word.
This
I love to see Zuko like attacking women. That's such a thing that I like to see. It makes me happy.
This scene gave, I wouldn't say happy, but it put dopamine in my brain somehow.
Dopamine giving.
We're making the new slang terms of 2020.
You could
I
argue
guess.
that like saying something is dope is just giving you dopamine.
We could just be figuring this out. Like, did you know that let's means let us kind of thing? And we could be just very behind right now. P-Town Understand Cruiser. Almost just called him PT Cruiser. P-Town _Cruiser.
Okay, you said understand, and I was confused.
Okay. P-Town _Cruiser. I am. So this isn't actually a question because they started with I am.
Okay.
I am the only one that noticed in the first half of this episode that Zuko's eyes are blue. And in the end, they are the normal gold color. Every episode I have watched, in parentheses, all of them, his eyes are gold. But for some reason, Nickelodeon chose to mess with our heads and give him blue eyes. I do admit, it is a good look for him, though.
Oh my God. Is it you had that question ready before I even like brought that up?
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah. We already talked about what that's all about.
Let's go through the evidence.
We're going to go back and rewatch the episode live on air.
We're not going to watch the whole episode. We're just going to...
I was just trying to make someone laugh. Someone, anyone. Can I get a laugh? Please clap. Are they talking about when he's up in the ice wasteland where everything is blue?
In the first half of the episode, his eyes are blue.
Oh, the first half.
Eyes are
gold. Gold.
We see the first shot of Zuko. Gold. He's definitely gold eyes.
Weird. It almost looks like in this scene where there's like warmer lighting, his eyes look brown. Did you notice that?
Yeah. His eyes are definitely gold in this scene too. And we're past the halfway point.
Gold
again. I would say that they could have been confused by the lighting, but that didn't even look right. Like maybe in this cave where it's all dark and blue.
They look almost green. Almost like the blue and the gold mixed to make a greenish color.
They're gold the whole time.
They're gold, friend.
So you are right. You are the only one that noticed because you're...
Well, like you said, it wasn't a question.
Yes.
They are the only one. Yeah.
Okay. Eon Fang or Lon Fang. English is a normal language.
Probably long.
Okay, I have a question. How on earth can Aang be in the North Pole without freezing to death? Does him being able to airbend also allow him to constantly control the temperature of the air around himself? It just seems really weird to me. Anyone else have any ideas?
We did talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
What was the conclusion we came to?
He's just really good at having a body, I think. He lived on like the top of a mountain and stuff.
I mean, that doesn't make you immune to cold. You could say that about Katara and Sokka.
But he wears that outfit in like extremely chilly weather already.
Yeah,
so
but
it's not like he's new to it.
You could ask, like, how did he do that too, though?
Yeah, which we say he's good at having a body.
I think, yeah, it's like sort of like a mental exercise. Like, I am deciding to be not cold.
Yeah.
Like, people can do that. I've heard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest anyone
try. He
try.
might be really good at like controlling his circulation or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. He can do it.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but his outfit is like orange and yellow. So I'm sure it's really warm.
Yeah, that's how warm colors work. System 4000 says, great episodes, especially the Katara and Zuko fight. Plus, one thing is, why did not the Water Tribe, when they had all their power at night, get all together and create a giant tsunami to crush the Fire Nation's navy that was attacking them?
That would have been pretty effective, huh?
Yes.
They probably should have thought of that, huh? It's not like they don't have powerful benders.
They could have gone on like a night mission. They're surrounded by water, the thing that they bend.
I will say, like, so far, I don't know if this is a deliberate choice, but they have been like much more defensive than offensive. Like they've just been trying to stop them, not attack them.
That's true.
So maybe that has something to do with it. Like, even Aang's little side mission, he wasn't hurting anyone. He was just like disabling the ships.
Yeah.
If they created a giant tsunami, it might kill everyone.
Yeah. I mean, they could have sort of tried to do that, like the sort of ice sort of spikes method.
Or at least like rebuild their wall or something.
That's true.
They just kind of left it there.
Yeah. I guess they just really value sleep.
That's valid.
Yeah. Just go to bed.
Why aren't waterbenders nocturnal?
It would make more sense.
Yeah.
System 4000 asks, what is the name of the Northern Water Tribe's capital city? Looking at the avatar maps on the internet, this city must be located in the western part of the North Pole near a river inlet, since you could see there was a river going through the city into the interior. The city is in the west because during the episode, when the Fire Nation stopped their attack because it was getting dark, you could see from the city looking straight out to the ocean, the sun setting in the west.
Well, we don't want to judge anything based on like where the celestial bodies are, as we found out. That's not going to actually get you anywhere.
For starters. Second of all, I don't know what you're asking. So, next question.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
Second of all, what?
Are they wondering what the name of this city is?
That's the bottom line. What is the name of the Northern Water Tribe's capital city?
I mean, they say that as if, like, I have to assume this is the only city, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like
probably,
it's the capital
like
city.
This,
I mean, I guess it is and
like,
it isn't.
Maybe by default.
Yeah. I think we already sort of talked about that, how we couldn't really figure out what it was called.
Yeah. They're just calling it the Northern Water Tribe.
Let me see if I can actually come up with an answer. Nope, it's just called the Northern Water Tribe, capital N, capital W, capital T.
Okay.
It even says, like in some places on the wiki, it says Northern Water Tribe City. So
okay.
I guess they just forgot to name it.
Oh, I got an order.
Uh-oh.
Iakna D asks, the Water Tribe does not have a naval force to engage the Fire Nation. What kind of water tribe doesn't fight on water?
That's a good point. I think the main difference is that the Fire Nation has a good navy because of industrial
of their metal.
Yeah. I think that's their whole thing. That's why they can conquer the world like this.
They do have a naval force. It's called people going onto boats, which we see.
So I think the problem is like this was never meant to be like a war-filled world. It seems like most of the military force that we've seen is all defensive because we're not here to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole shtick is like we have a person who maintains balance.
Yeah, they don't have too much of a reason to, like, their military.
They live together in harmony.
Their warriors aren't so expansive that they have to do like so many different sections. Like these are the ground people. These are the air people. These are the water people. Kind of. There's like your warriors. Sometimes you go on boats. Sometimes you're fighting with spears and stuff on land.
Yeah.
So they do have a sort of navy.
I guess, yeah, but
because they go on the boats.
They do have like that sort of cap though to their force because they can't make like metal boats.
Yeah,
is the thing. So,
but
I mean, they could have like really cool big sort of pirate ships, which would be fun. But
that's true.
Yeah, they don't.
But
it's not their thing.
Yeah, and it makes more sense for the boats to be kind of smaller and closer to the water because they're going to be using the water
yeah,
pretty much.
That's true.
So if you're going to be on the big pirate ships, it would be harder to waterbend even.
Yeah. Yeah, so fuck you.
Yeah.
In conclusion.
If anything, they should be simpler boats. They should just be rafts.
Just little ice rafts.
Just kind of planks of wood. They should just be on surfboards.
They should just be walking on water like Jesus Christ.
They should do that. They can do the
surfboards would be fun though.
Yeah, they would be fun.
Wakeboards or something.
They could also do like the Elsa sort of Frozone thing where they kind of like put the ice on the ground and they slide across.
I'm sorry, Elsa Frozone? Is that her last name?
I'm saying like both Elsa and Frozone.
God, can I make a single fucking joke today?
No.
Okay.
No jokes allowed. They both do the thing where they like put the ice in front of them and they just kind of slide forward, and that's how they traverse the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't do that though.
Yeah,
They're
they
not.
could
I
get
don't. They are. They talk about this a little bit in the commentary. How they wanted it to be obvious that there is actual energy expended with bending.
That's true.
They can't just have this unlimited power of like flying
Mhm.
across the water like that.
Yeah.
So
But still, like a surfboard would be the waterbender equivalent of like the air glider.
it would be fun to see like big boats that use sort of like, what do you call those, like water mills? What do you call those things? Those things that spin around and they scoop up water for energy. I would say it was
like
a water
those-
mill.
like
Surely.
the old timey sort of like Tom Sawyer times looking boat that you'd see going across the
Oh, is that a
Mississippi.
thing? They had boats like that?
You know, like the big boats that look like that they had two water mills on the side.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought I just invented something
I'll
cool.
show you a picture. It's really neat.
Well, while he looks that up, I'm just saying, because I was thinking, well, the Fire Nation has like unlimited energy in that they can start fire in a way,
Mhm.
so that like helps them fuel their ships. And the Water Nation, or any nation, would have like a hard time sort of creating an energy source that can like renew itself that way. But watermill boats would be fun. I want to actually keep an eye out because I'm sure there's got to be, they would have thought of that or something somewhere.
Yeah, there's a paddle wheel boat.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Are you seeing this?
Does that help?
Yep. Paddle wheel boats. Last question. Legend of Korra asks, I don't understand why Yue's dad, in parentheses, forgot name, same, deciding to throw Sokka of the mission and then decide to make him Yue's personal bodyguard.
I'm actually, so this is interesting because like you saying that does make me give pause because we were just like, he didn't even think about it. He wasn't even paying
Mhm.
attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he was like waiting for any opportunity just
Yeah,
to like.
it was definitely intentional.
He's like, oh, here's a good excuse.
hmm
I'm guessing
Like-
he recognized Sokka was more of a brain than a brawn, and Sokka would never want to admit that, but it's
Mhm.
probably true.
Yeah.
So he probably was thinking like maybe not an offensive position for Sokka. He seems like a smart guy. Maybe I'll have him guard my daughter. How do I politely take him off the mission?
Yeah.
So he just walks by a doorway and sees him fighting. He's like, "You're off the
Mhm.
mission."
Yeah. Like he could have been said like, your hair looks dumb. You're off the mission. And he probably just saw that he actually really liked Yue.
Yeah, because
Like, it
they
probably
spent a
would've
lot
been
of time.
obvious.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time
So
together. So
he probably would have been like, you would probably be like more dedicated to protecting her than anyone else.
yeah, that like combined with the fact that he was like he had thrown himself in sort of the line of duty here. Even if he had legitimately taken him off the mission for like fighting or whatever, he knows that he has a sense of duty and like he can trust him in that way. So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense because he was the only
Mhm.
one not doing anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so I already promised I would come back to the goofs, so I'll just quickly go through the rest of those. When Katara and Yue glare at Momo for fishing in the Spirit Oasis, most of Momo's colors are reversed. His back is black while his belly is white.
Ooh.
Interesting. That was when he entered the Avatar state.
Yeah.
When Katara and Yue are talking while Aang meditates, the bottom of their outfits become gray. When Katara tells Yue that Aang is crossing into the spirit world, her necklace's carving disappears. When Katara declares herself capable of protecting Aang, the part of her necklace that connects the pendant to the choker is blue instead of yellow. When Zhao watches the sunrise, his hair is gray in one shot, turns brown in the next. And when Katara wakes up from being...
I mean, that's just
I
lighting
know,
again.
this is some like color stuff.
Mhm.
When Katara wakes up from being knocked out by Zuko, the part of her necklace that connects the pendant to the choker is the same color as the pendant. Yeah. Lots of color stuff.
Yeah.
It's all good. We
You
like
see-
colors.
You see in the daytime, the
Some things are orange, and
When-
then at night
at
they're
night
blue.
they're a lot darker, bluer color. It's a little inconsistent.
Oh boy, this is a color-heavy episode, huh?
Yeah.
There was also a bit of trivia that I wanted to talk about, and I totally forgot to. Do I have time to do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is actually very fresh. It just happened like yesterday, I think.
Oh.
Or the day before, but I think it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. It was on April 1st.
Okay.
Which is why some people just dismissed it because they thought it was like some kind of goof or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if you've heard about this. So originally the head writer, Aaron I'm not sure how his last name is pronounced.
Yeah.
But the head writer of the show had always planned on there being a 4th season, confirmed.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be about Azula.
Interesting.
She was supposed to have a character redemption arc.
Yeah.
And it was going to be like her and Zuko, like having this brother-sister relationship, and he like is there for her and stuff.
It feels like it would feel like sort of like an epilogue season.
It looks like he deleted the tweet.
Oh, whoa.
He didn't delete the replies though. Oh. He says that her arc would have been longer and far more complicated than Zuko's.
Oh my God.
She apparently had not bottomed at the end of season 3, and she had further to go. At the deepest moment in her own abyss, she would have found Zuko.
God.
Despite it all, her brother Zuko would be there for her, believing in her, sticking by her, doing his best to understand and help her hold her pain that she can no longer hold alone. Zuko, patient, forgiving, and unconditionally loving, all strengths he gained from Uncle Iroh. That's how she would have gotten out and changed, with the faith and love of someone she had hurt, but who stuck by her anyway, just as he had been saved by faith and love from someone he had hurt, but who had stuck by him. I'm just going to cry now.
Yeah.
I'm so sad that we were robbed of this.
Yeah.
It would have been really good.
Do you get any comics about it or
No,
anything?
and he even specifically said the plans we had for the 4th season never made it into any comics.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you still got a Netflix show to do that.
That's very true. Maybe
Avatar Brotherhood. It's literally brotherhood. True. Because he's her brother.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So this is also confirmed. They originally planned on 3, and then we discussed a 4th and seemed like we were going to do it. Then M. Night came and they reverted to original plan.
Okay.
So just one more reason to be mad today.
Yeah. It seems like the best timeline.
Definitely. I do have something else to ask you about.
Okay.
What are your cabbages?
My cabbages are 132.
My cabbages are 420. Oh, okay. I got your real cabbage.
Okay.
But I'm going to go ahead and just stick with 420.
Okay. You're going to stick.
Somewhere between 69 and 420 is my cabbages.
Somewhere in between 69 and 420.
Yeah. Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Stellar Ghost, Tumblr, Interstellar Princess. It's been a while since we did this. What else do I have? I do have a Patreon where you can support my various creative endeavors, including this podcast, because we do share the income. Mm-hmm. That's patreon.com/summergeist. There's also lots of fun exclusive stuff like artwork and stuff that I post there too.
You can find me at Twitter at OwlDude and on Tumblr at OwlDude. You can find me music on noahgeist.bandcamp.com and noahdoesmusic.tumblr.com. I do the music for the show. Summer does the art for the show. Just some examples.
You can also follow My Podcabbages on Twitter at My Podcabbages. And I did already post that Galaxy Brain thing.
She already made the meme. She's that quick.
And then, obviously also go check out Noisepace. There's new shows on Noisepace already.
Wow.
We've been gone for a month and they've already added like 4 or 5 new shows.
Yeah, just from the whole of our absence.
I do want to talk about those very quickly. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure we have once or twice plugged HKIP, Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. Mm-hmm. Very good leftism, politics, news and politics podcast. Just sometimes it's just people talking.
Yeah, sometimes neither of them read the news, and
it's a really good show. It's a really good show. And then so I think the 2 main new podcasts are Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses. That's with Noise Space hosts Roy and Fallon. And then we also have the new The Ass Box.
The Ass Box.
The Ask. I really skipped over the K
You
there.
can find that on Netflix. It's the sequel to Bird Box.
I mean, it's a podcast about Tumblr, so The Ass Box also not totally inaccurate. This one is from Allegra.
Not anymore.
No? Not from Allegra?
No, there's no more asses on Tumblr anymore.
Oh, okay. So those are the two newest ones. And then obviously you could actually, best thing for you to do at this point, go and follow Noise Space on Twitter. It's just at Noise Space XYZ on Twitter, and then you can find everything from there, or you can just go to the website too, and you can find everything from there. But yeah, there's lots of cool, funny, very good podcasters on our network now. So please check those out. And thanks for listening. God damn.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sorry,
Thank you.
it's been so long. We're happy to be back.
Bye.
Wait.
What?
I don't know. I miss our listeners already.
I don't
I
want
don't want them to go. Don't leave me.
Wait.
I would encourage you to go ahead and grab that ass. No, go ahead and grab that Galaxy Brain meme and make something funnier out of it, because I really just quickly threw it together.
Okay. Hurry. Wait. Hang on.
Noah's
Don't
panicking
go.
over there.
Hey.
I'm watching him glitch out.
I'm just waiting.
It's really weird.
I just want this
his
like,
arm
fade
is where
out.
his leg is supposed to be now. Oh, we're fading out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why my voice is getting so much quieter.
Hey. Wait.
Don't yell. It's okay. I can hear you.
Hey. Hang on.
This is the worst possible exit to a podcast that's ever been made.
Wait, we can do a manual fade out where we just start talking.
We've definitely already made this joke.
I know we made the joke before.
I don't know if we executed it that well.
But we can execute it better.
The cord of my headphones is very short,
Yeah,
so
no, just take her. I think it's
Cabbage.
I need water. Fire. Get you a man who will get you water when you just say a joke. If you're going to get a man at all. Otherwise, I would encourage you to just not, if it's an option. This is not a diss on my extremely good husband.
Here, I got you a jar of water.
Thanks.